Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to our general session for the month of March already. I'm going to open at 7:02. All rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Hold on. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
That's what I get.
We again want to welcome you and welcome our people online. A couple of comments. First, I want to give a shout out, and Director Denning, you're going to have to help me. Is it Zach? Zach worked out on our 100-acre woods. And which association is he belong? I always get the name wrong, so I apologize.
So actually, I believe they're changing the name, but it's the entity formerly known as the Wild Rivers Coast Mountain Bike Association.
So I just want to give a shout out to Zach. On his own time and dime, he went out to our 100-acre wood and cut up 2 fallen trees and all the debris and got the trails open again. So I just want to give a shout out to him and appreciate him. Also want to make sure you all are aware the City of Coquille is sponsoring a job fair this Thursday, March 6th, between 10 and 4 at our community building. Our recorder Liz has spearheaded this effort. We have some amazing sponsors: Coos Bay Toyota, McKay's, Costco, Les Sanitation sponsored for $1,000, Milk Casino, and there's over 20 vendors with job openings who will actually be there, and food trucks will be on site as well. So this is a great event, and it's this Thursday between 10 and 4 at our community building. And also, one other note, some people may have noticed on social media, I had the opportunity to judge at our Miss Coos County. And so I just want to say a shout out to those folks who coordinate that, amazing young women. And I had a lot of fun. They are very serious. And so it was a lot of fun, and I enjoyed that. All right, I'm going to go down here to the right to Councilor Wellington.
Yeah, thank you to staff and department heads for your people just doing a great job for the city. Everything's looking good. I'd also like to congratulate the varsity girls from the high school. They made the state basketball tournament. They play Thursday over in North Bend at 1:30 against Amity High School. So, congratulations.
Councilor Corvus.
All right.
Councilor Marshall.
I just want to give it up for our finance team. So, Director, if you could give your ladies kudos from us. They do a lot of stuff. It's budget time. They're in there crunching numbers. They all have multiple roles that they do, and they're kind of the heroes behind things. I think I kind of could say that right. So just let them know they're doing an awesome job, and we really appreciate all the effort that they put into making sure our finances and all of our bills are paid and money's collected and all that stuff. That we appreciate their work and all the extra things that they do as well. So it goes not noticed. So let them know that, if you would, for us, please. Thank you.
Councilor Cooper.
I just want to thank everybody that's in attendance, that is showing up to each of these meetings, staying informed and being involved. I'd like to see more people look at our council packets that are publicly accessible and stay informed on all the issues. So as topics of discussion come up, they can have a good foundation of where we are and what has led to different projects we're working on. And I feel like a lot of questions would be answered that I see online if they saw our packets and knew that they were publicly accessible.
Thank you, Councilor Cooper. Councilor Westrom got called earlier on a call, and Councilor Chappelle is ill this evening, and so just want to explain their absences. Councilor Westrom may be joining us a little bit later. To Councilor Cooper's point, I want to remind everybody, cityofcoquille.org. All of our council packets are on there. You can see tonight's packet if you're joining us online. Any decisions we make then are in the minutes in the following month. And so, again, the packets are complete with not only the minutes of our meetings, but staff reports and any agenda items and all of that information cityofcoquille.org. Also want to mention before we move on, for good of the order, I have reserved my comments in regards to a tax levy that is going to be proposed to the city of Coquille. We will discuss that a little bit more in detail at the good of the order at the end of the meeting. All right. So we're going to move on to consent calendar, agenda item number 5 for meeting 2/3/2025 and our special meeting 2/24/25.
I'll make the motions to accept the minutes for both meetings as presented by staff.
Second.
Motion by Councilor Marshall, seconded by Councilor Waddington. Any other discussion? All those in favor? Aye. All right, there we go, unanimous. Thank you, councilors and staff for the reports. We're now moving on to staff reports. First on the agenda is our city manager, Mr. Norberg.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, councilors. You've got my report in your packet. I don't have much to add. I did go to the League of Cities President's meeting, regional meeting, on February 20th in North Bend. It was a pretty interesting presentation by Patty Mulvihill, who's the executive director. And one of the things they pointed out was that, and I put this statistic in my report, but based on current statistics, by 2026, nearly 75% of all municipalities in Oregon will have funding shortfalls due to insufficient revenues. So, you know, there's a lot of revenue issues on the horizon for municipalities. A lot of it to do with the escalation of cost of services and personnel and those things. And revenues aren't keeping up. So just an important point to remember as we go into budget season this year. And also we have a bids this evening for the community building, which Mr. Denning will talk about for the re-roofing project. So that's all I have unless there's any questions. Any questions?
All righty, thank you, Mr. Norberg. On to our Finance and HR Department, Director Ailing.
Yeah, I have nothing to add to my report, but I do want to give a shout out to Liz for the job fair. It's been really fun watching it come together. And absolutely, I will pass those kudos on to my team. They deserve that.
Thank you.
Any questions?
All right, seeing no questions, we're going to move on to our Coquille Fire and Rescue, Chief Aaron.
Good evening. This doesn't really have to do with my council report, but a couple months ago, the question was presented about putting in more stop signs at 3rd and Central. That was proposed to the Public Safety Committee. I don't know if I need an agenda item on it or not, so if I do, we can bring it back next month, but their recommendation would be to make 3rd and Central a 4-way stop there. Kind of in regards to the safety of pulling out there. It's become quite the difficult intersection.
Yeah, I want to add, thank you, Chief Aaron, and to the Safety Committee. I believe on the agenda next month is a design concept for Central from HGE in regards to striping and stop signs, and that specific corner is in that design and does offer up it as a 4-way stop. So we are headed that way, but it's good to have that recommendation from the committee, yes. Is that correct, Mr. Nortenberg?
Yes, that's correct, Mr. Mayor.
I'd be happy to answer any questions.
If anybody cares to know ahead of time, also on 5th, I believe, is the other stop for the ambulance in the hospital, so that has also been a dangerous corner as well.
Yeah, that is in the design as well, yes.
Any other questions for Chief Aaron?
Chief, congratulations to your firefighters and your personnel for their awards.
Oh, thank you.
That's a great honor for
I'll
all
let 'em
of
know.
us to achieve that, so hats off to you guys.
All right, next on the agenda is our Planning Department. with Haley Sheldon. Mr. Norberger on some questions, if we have any. For our councilors, while you're looking that over, we do have on the agenda reappointing a planning commissioner. So that is a current sitting commissioner. We're just reappointing. So we'll explain more on that later. All right, looks like it's Director Denning up for our Public Works Department.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Nothing to add to my report, but happy to answer your questions.
I'd just like to say kudos on, given the current budget issues that are coming up, the way that you've been able to triage projects and put down the non-necessary, but and keep going on the ones that we can do, has been pretty exceptional. I know it's a group effort among staff, but I'm excited about the playground down at Cerdevent and bringing those taxpayer dollars back to Coquille. That's something that we had to deal with before based on liability, and it's nice, even though we have some issues going on right now, to be able to still come true on that agreement to bring a playground structure back to Sturdivant.
And I will say the nice thing about that particular grant is it's not even the taxpayers' money, it's the lotto players' money that comes back. So, yeah, even better. Yeah.
The only time I might promote lottery.
It's for the kids.
Also, it should, I do want to at least highlight too, a lot of, I think you had several volunteers who helped out along the Riverwalk and plantings, and it's a lot of work being done down there. So shout out to our staff and our volunteers as well.
Right. And for those who don't know, the Friends of the Riverwalk, which was considering dissolving, has gotten some new leadership. So that's great. They still have some of their own funds, and it's just great to get that interaction and input from them, and the help that they provide.
Any other questions for Mark? All right, we're moving on to Director Lucas for our Coquille Library.
Good evening. I have nothing to add to my report, but I'd be happy to answer any questions that you may have.
No questions, but I'll make a comment. I keep hearing great things from people who are loving our library. So great job, Teresa, and to all your staff too, because it's not just the building, it's the people who work in the building, and so thank you to you and your team.
Thank you. I will add that the school has been bringing groups of kids down to use our library, so we are supplementing the public school libraries now too.
Chief Doyle with our Coquille Police.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Nothing to add to my my packet, but I'll be happy to answer any questions that the council may have.
Great job with short staff dealing with all the issues that are happening with the jail releases. I know Sergeant Miller wasn't even technically on shift yet and already had a custody as he was walking into the office. So quick jail release from Coos Bay, and unfortunately we're the county seat and it's thrown right in your guys' lap to deal with the county's problems. So good job triaging that as well.
Thank you.
I think I just want to publicly say I know that some of our homeless and transient from the jail and otherwise has been extremely challenging for our businesses and property owners. Even more challenging, I think, for our police who've been given a job and it's just hard on them. And so I've been talking about that with a few of them, and I'm just proud of our police force. It's super frustrating for them, and I just want to thank them for their hard work. Yep.
I will most definitely relay your thanks and appreciation, and I have to say I'm immensely proud of them, and we are in a difficult period, but they're taking it in stride and doing their level best and delivering top quality policing services to our citizens. So, thank you.
Chief, can you hit a little bit on reserves, what our status is, or how's that program doing? Do we have any new news on that?
We received one application and one background packet today. We're constantly soliciting and recruiting. We will be at the upcoming job fair to talk about reserve officer opportunities. So we're hoping to build back those ranks, and I'm hopeful that here in the coming months we'll be able to do so. So it's an excellent opportunity for folks that want to serve in their community, and it's also a great opportunity for folks who are aspiring to maybe a full-time position down the road to gain some valuable on-the-job training and work experience. So I started my career as a reserve some years ago, and that was true of a lot of the folks that were hired on subsequently. So I'm a big believer in the things that our reserve officers can bring to our department.
And so currently, where are we at in reserve officers?
At this point, we have one reserve, Tobiah Cochran, who is also our record specialist. And in the past years, those numbers have kind of dwindled from, I think at a high point, maybe 5 or 6 level 1 reserves. So a level 1 reserve is a reserve that's exchangeable with a full-time officer. So hopefully we can build those ranks back up.
Gotcha. So you're going to be at the job fair and
Absolutely. Yes.
trying to recruit people. So there you go.
We'll be
if
there.
you're out there and you're listening and you're interested in that, be at that job fair on Thursday and talk to Chief Doyle. We can definitely looking for a few good folks to come shore up that reserve side of the house. So thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Chief. Moving on to Deputy Chief Fire Marshal Wells.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, and well done on the title.
Yes.
I have only one thing to add. On Friday night, we responded to a fire at 55152 Picture Valley Road for a semi-truck on fire. Quick response from Coquille and Myrtle Point. They were able to extinguish that from spreading to any other vehicles that were parked nearby. Have not completed the investigation, but that's still ongoing. So. Where was it at? Picture Valley Road. So.
That auto aid is pretty nice. I think the whole entire area is really benefiting from doing that. So kudos to you guys, all the volunteer organizations that got together and formed that, because it's been nothing but success, and you guys have stopped a lot of things that could have gotten a lot bigger. So
Agreed.
that's pretty good. That works pretty seamless. So pretty good. We're fortunate to have that.
I think that wraps up our staff reports. Thank you, staff. This is the point where we move on to public participation. This is when people are here in public can sign up to speak. They have 3 minutes. We assign 3 minutes. And when you speak, you address the mayor. And just so that those know, if they sign up to speak, it's your job to express your voice, our job to listen. And so oftentimes it means we will not have a response, but we may follow up either staff or myself. And so do we have anybody signed up?
We have one person this evening, David Crapes.
Great. Come on up, David.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and City Council and other people here. Subject I'm going to talk about is the recent increase in transients in the downtown core. They've really starting to get out of hand. It used to be just 1 or 2 they'd go away after a few days or something. But now they seem to pretty much live downtown. And they're getting more aggressive about panhandling. The amount of vandalism is just gone up. Last week, I couldn't even put my own trash in my can because it was so filled with trash that had been deposited in front of my building and on my building that I, completely filled my garbage can with the stuff. So it's beginning to bother me. You can't walk down to Fraser's to get a donut or anything without being panhandled 2 or 3 times. I know the mayor's has the same problem. I've witnessed, people camping in front of his building. Behind my building, I'm at 74 West 1st Street, and on 2nd Street there's an enclave behind Boblin's, and that's being used pretty heavily by transients at this point to just live there and everything. We've got one person in particular, Melissa, and she's obviously very damaged drug addict, and they put her in jail, but I don't think that's unfortunately the situation. It's doing much for her. I don't know if there's some way that the state can actually declare her incompetent and have her become a ward of the state and get rid of her to a hospital or something, but she's really a danger to everybody and herself, and she's escalated from trying to break into cars and all kinds of other stuff now. And the amount of garbage that she puts around town is phenomenal. I know that Teresa's also had difficulty with her in the books out in the free cart as she goes through there and tears all the pages out and distributes them throughout the town. So that one's a real problem. The people that opened the new store next to my building, 60 West 1st Street, last week we were standing out front talking, and a new one that I hadn't encountered came by and panhandled us, and as soon as we declined to give her money, got really violent, basically threatened to kill us and everything else, and a big screaming, shouting match went down the street to the post office and pigeonholed some lady that was, getting in her car, wanting to go into the post office, and the wife of the owner of that business actually called the police at that point. And I didn't witness what happened because my garbage can, it was on Garbage Day Friday, I had put it out back, and
David, we've hit
I
the
saw Alyssa.
Yeah, we've hit the 3 minutes. If you want
Am
to
I
take
3
about
minutes up?
Yeah,
Oh, well,
yeah.
I'm sorry.
You want to give about 15 seconds to recap or just close?
I think that's basically it. They just seem to be getting more aggressive. They're doing a lot more vandalism, and what types of things can we talk to the county commissioners and make these, because most of them come to the jail. Can somebody take them back when they are thrown out instead of leaving them here?
Okay, thank you, David.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for coming and sharing. Appreciate it. Thank you. Is anybody else signed up? Is anybody signed up? No? Okay. All right. Agenda item number 8. Appoint planning commissioners Charlie Davis. So Charlie Davis is a current sitting planning commissioner, so she's re-upping. And so she just missed the deadline last month, so I think it's just a formality for us to appoint her via a motion. And so I will go ahead and make the motion to reappoint Charlie Davis on the Planning Commission. Motion by Mayor. I heard Councilor Cooper first, second it. Any other discussion or questions? All those in favor? Aye. I do want to mention Mr. Joe Keener has been serving on our Planning Commission, and we appreciate him very much. He is relocating, thus has to resign. And so we're sad to see that happen, and so this does create officially a vacancy. And so we are going to open applications beginning tonight, and we can take it through the 31st. How about that? Through March 31st. Open application for a planning commissioner. Planning commissioners do not need to live in city limits, so you can live outside city limits and still be a planning commissioner. I think it's in the greater city of Cook Hill, right? I think, and so if you have any questions on that, contact our city hall, And Mr. Nordberg can answer those questions. And then we will hopefully be able to fill that position next month.
Mayor? Joe's also on the library board, so we're going to have an opening on the library board as well.
So we can make that official tonight, right? And so because of a vacancy on our library board, we're also looking for a library board member as well. And let's open up application through March 31st and see what happens. We'd love to have your involvement. Director Lucas is great to work with. For our library, and also Haley Sheldon for our planning department is excellent to work for and with. And so both are very important to our community, and we'd love to have more people serve in that capacity. All right, next up, after-school program presentation. And was it Sherry?
It was.
Okay, yes, come on up.
Okay. Mayor and councilors, I am a resident of Coquille, and also at this point in time, I am a current member of UCAN AmeriCorps. For those of you who are not aware of what that is, they are a federally funded agency throughout the United States that works within the communities with volunteers to deal with education, healthy futures, and also economic opportunities. And it was through AmeriCorps that I joined to start this after-school program at Coquille Library that we work with Coquille Valley School. Right now we have 28 kids that attend most of the time, but with all the sports and stuff, we find things kind of moving up and down as far as numbers. And they are from the ages of 7 to 12, second through the 6th grade. And what we do every day is we have projects. We have to work within what is called the STREAM program, which was what AmeriCorps developed under their educational thing, which is science, technology, reading, engineering, art, and math. The really nice thing about that particular situation is as I got involved with the kids, there isn't anything in the whole world that you can't stick somewhere there. So as things have progressed, when I first decided to do this, the first thing I decided would be very helpful would be to let the kids help me design this program. I feel that it has worked better that way than them coming out of school and going directly to the public library, having me sit down and start preaching at them or telling them this is what they needed to do. So what we do every day is, for a short period of time, we have a project, something within the STREAM program. The kids will choose it, and then they decide whether they want to just talk about it, have a discussion. I bring information. I'm doing a lot of research. I'm getting smarter every day, actually. Or we do coloring pages or word searches or anything around that particular thing. We meet from about 3:10 every Monday, Wednesday, Friday to 5:30 approximately. And we've been doing this now. We are through our second month. 20 days I've been with the kids. They have progressed quite well, though it is very challenging to work with 28 kids, all of different ages and thoughts and ideas. And a lot of it was when I started, the one thing that I thought was really important, probably due to my age, I didn't want to stick them on electronics. So at this point in time, no phones, no iPads, no Chromebooks. I am trying to show them how much fun it can be to use their ideas, their creativity, their decisions, and move forward. And we've done some pretty cool things. I've been starting to do challenges, which seems to be probably one of them being I gave them 20 pieces of spaghetti, 3 feet of tape, and 3 feet of twine, and a marshmallow. And they had to build me the tallest freestanding unit that would hold that marshmallow long enough for me to take a picture. And whoever won got a small prize. And they did it in groups of 3. Probably the longest I had them quietly working in all the time that I've been there, but they had a really good time. So I'm trying to come up with more of these kinds of challenges and stuff. And the nice thing about that is with technology and science and engineering being so intermingled, we do a lot of that. Today we talked about Newton's motion laws, and they didn't know much about most of it, but by the end of it they kind of got a better feel for it. Friday, we made catapults and had marshmallow catapult. You know, we're just doing a lot of different things, trying to stick with stream. We, on a daily basis, we have the project in the morning. And once the project is done and they've done whatever coloring page or the word search on the project or the ideas that we have been dealing with, we have a break for 15 to 20 minutes. At that time, we do healthy snack. Right now, we are doing trail mix that we design. I was on site at the Mayo Clinic, and there was an idea of making trail mix that way. There isn't a lot of salts and stuff like that, and they have a certain percentage of carbs, which are the good or fun things, like M&Ms and gummy bears and stuff like that. You have to have 40% of grains and whatever, so we have check mixes and things like that, and then fruits and nuts, and then we have almonds and dried fruits and that type of thing. And every week they get to change up, and they give me a different list of what they want, of 2 of each of the things, and the starter of Chex Mix or Cheerios, and I go from there. And that's been working out really well, too. Again, a lot of this is, for me, I got involved with it because I enjoy kids, and they just, a lot of them just really struggle after school. The parents are having to work, and they don't want to get stuck at the school, or they want to do something different, and so I'm just trying to make it fun, but again, I am, you know, within the confines of also what AmeriCorps needed me to do with the stream program and whatever. We've started with presenters. We've had 3. Deputy Anderson, which happens to be my son, but anyway, he's been coaching for 25 years, and the boys kept saying, could we talk to a coach about football? We're getting interested in football. And so once they told me how this would work within stream with the physical part of it and nutrition, he came in and he talked about the game and the plays, but he also talked about nutrition, the importance of hydration, and what was important about keeping your body, you know, to exercise and stuff and not just go out there, you know, and hope to not get hurt. So we've enjoyed that. This Friday, we've got one of our kids' father is a lineman. He's going to bring one of their trucks, and we get to go and look around the truck, and he's going to describe what they do and how it impacts us and how the truck has made his job safer and easier. We've also had, at the end of January, National Honor Society at the high school offered to send 3 kids most Wednesdays, because they're seniors, and so there's a lot of things going on. They help with math and reading, and that has been really helpful. And one of those gals is an extremely awesome artist, and she asked if we'd like to have her come in. She came in here a Friday or so ago and spent about an hour and a half teaching the kids how to make an owl step by step, and it was really fun to watch, and the kids really enjoyed it, and they did a really great job with it. So, let's see, I'm just talking. We hope to have, or I'm hoping to have, at least another 10 or so presenters. I think it's a really good idea, and most of them from our own community. I'm hoping to have the police and the fire department and stuff come in and talk to the kids, you know, and just describe their days and whatever, and let the kids know some of the good parts of some of this stuff, because I know they don't get around it a lot. So anyway, that's probably just about it. I have 3 more months. I am still adamant that we try to do this without electronics. And that's been hard, because I've had times when I'd finally, kids of that age they just don't have a lot of attention span. It's something I'm not used to because of my age. You know, we were focused back then, and if you had 2 hours of homework at home and all that going on, and so you never really worried about it. But that has been a problem. Every time I'd say, well, what do you think you could do that would keep you interested for more than 10, 15 minutes at a time? And Fortnite seems to be the only thing that's said to me every time, and which is not something that I allow. But they're doing great. I feel that they are expanding their thinking all the time. Like I said, we're looking for more challenges, and that's the thing they like to do. So I'm hoping that we do well for the next 3 months. And like I said, we have taken on new people all the time. We've had a few had to go because they were doing too many sports or whatever, but we just took a new one on Friday was the last one, and we took another one on. So hopefully over the next 3 months, we'll just continue on, and the kids will continue to enjoy it, and hopefully we'll do well for them. Thank you.
Thank you.
I feel like that deserves a... I mean, I kind of want to do activities with you, Sherry, but I just a shout out to you, Sherry, the incredible work you're doing. Our kids are just too tremendous of an asset in our community, and so thank you for your hard work. And how do people get a hold of you if you're looking for more presenters? What's the best way to get a hold of you?
Oh, boy, if they get a hold of me, that would be great. Just call the library, and they can take the information, and I can call them back, or they can come down and get me, or go up, I guess, I'm not sure.
Great,
But
okay.
yeah, any of that, I would love that. I think presenters are, especially within the community, I just think it's a good idea for the kids to see all of this. I know one of the nicest times I had, and I had to laugh because I was really concerned, because the kids are, some days that they're awesome, and then some days the control is just gone. And it's hard sometimes. But while my son was there, because they allowed him to pull off, he's a deputy, and come in and talk to him, they were so good.
Oh, yeah, sure.
And then the next one that came in, I'm struggling, and that's the only thing I could think of. But like I said, they do seem to enjoy that type of thing. But I think being involved with it, for me, when I decided to do this, I've always liked kids. I ran a saw shop for 40 years, so it's just totally different.
Yeah.
The kids are awesome, yes.
After the meeting, I'd like to give you a couple ideas.
Awesome, thank you.
And so just to remind everybody online, if we can direct you to the public library, ask for the after-school program, and invest in our kids in that way. That'll be great. Thank you, Sherry. Thank you so much. All right. Great. I'm going to go to agenda item number 10, review and accept bids for Coquille Community Building re-roof project. I'm going to go ahead and call for a motion because this is just simply to accept the bids, and then we can have discussion on the next agenda item concerning the actual roof and awarding it.
I'll make the motion to accept the bid for the roof on the, is it just for the building, for the roof on the community center?
Name the three, so under staff recommendation, if you read that part, that'll probably be your motion.
So we have to, let's see here.
The three company names there.
Yep, so, move to accept the bids and receive from Tom Gieslowski Construction, C&R Homes and Construction, and Carlson Roofing Company for the community center building re-roofing project.
Second.
All right, motion by Councilor Marshall to accept those bids, seconded by Councilor Waddington. Any questions or discussion? All those in favor? Aye. All right, there we go. Now you're ready, Director Denning. We're going to move on to item number 11, awarding the re-roof project.
Thank you, Mayor. So while this is a high dollar project, it's not one of those big wow factor projects like you get with a new library or a fire hall with a facelift on it. But something we need to do. The roof itself, since I got here 4 years ago, we've been fighting leaks in the flat roof. The sloped roof has begun to really show its age last couple of years. And we set forth an alternate bid for the sloped roof. You know, our base bid was for shingle, asphalt roof, and the alternate bid was for a metal roof. You can see from the bid tabulations where those numbers came in. Our staff's recommendation, based on available funding, is to accept the low bid from C&R Homes in the amount of $328,350. Happy to answer any questions you have about the project.
I'll move to award the Coquille Community Building re-roofing project to C&R Homes and Construction in the amount of $328,350.
Second.
All right, motion by Councilor Marshall to award the bid as stated, Senior Homes, seconded by Councilor Cooper. Any discussion or questions? Thank you, Mark, for all the work, HE2, and getting us to this so that we can start doing those improvements, and appreciate it. All those in favor? Aye. There we go. Passes unanimously. Thank you, Director Denny. All right, we're moving on to the good of order, and as promised, I wanted to at least open the good of order to, we had a meeting, and it was posted last week. Was it last week already? A special meeting concerning the possibility of this council approving bringing a tax levy to the city for a vote for Cookeville Fire and Rescue Ambulance Services. We had a quorum of 4 councilors who approved that unanimously, and so I just want to mention in the good order, we had a work session before this meeting and discussed some future town hall meetings. I'm going to go ahead and say it. We're tentatively scheduling a town hall meeting on Thursday night, April 10th, probably at 7 p.m. at our Cookeville Community Building. And so you will see more information on this coming out via social media, definitely on our city page. Here in the very near future, we'll have a city page dedicated to this levy. And just to let people know, and I don't have the exact numbers in front of me. I thought I was going to have them, and I didn't. I forgot to bring them down. But basically, we billed about, I'm going to say about $1.1 million last year, and we received about $400 and some thousand. So about 38%, I think, is that number, 38 to 40%. And so that is a significant shortfall of about 700 and some change. And so we are not able to continue to subsidize that directly from our general fund. And so this is, we're very passionate about this topic. We're going to be bringing you the information that we're seeing. And we care about our Cookeville Fire and Ambulance and our citizens. And to not have it, it just seems too impossible. Because of response times, how it impacts also our fire side. We're going to talk a lot about that in the future. And I think I'm going to shut up at this point, so if any of the councilors want to weigh in on the good of the order topic here. But you will be hearing more from us, and please stay in the loop. Please read the packets. It explains everything of how we got where we've gotten, especially over the last 4 or 5 months. And you can find those packets online, cityofcookeville.org. Right. Anything else go to the order?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, there will be a council workshop, a goal-setting session for the next fiscal year, Monday, March 17th. That's next Monday at 6:30 p.m. here in council chambers. Huh? Oh, sorry, 2 Mondays from now. I'm accelerating time again, sorry. So, yes, March 17th. So a week, 2 weeks from tonight. Yes, that's correct.
I'm going to be out of the state at that time. So just want me to get things to you prior.
So yes, Counselor, I did send an email to the council this afternoon with a recap of the previous year's goals and asking for 5 goals. So if you could email that to me, that'd be great.
I'll also be out of town. I'll do the same.
Okay. All the rest of y'all better be here.
Be here in spirit.
Okay.
I imagine there'll be some subcommittee assignments that come out of that meeting.
Yeah.
Sure there will.
Oh yeah, they'll be volunteered for numerous activities. Just a procedural question, Mr. Nordberg. Does a work session like that require a quorum?
It's a work session, so actually it does not require a quorum. So if we don't have one, that's okay.
And not to say any of y'all shouldn't be there, but just to make sure, we will proceed. If for any reason you have a conflict, I would encourage our counselors earlier, now send those 5 things ASAP. So if anything does come up in our line of work, they're at least proffered. So,
Any chance of a Teams meeting or anything to be a part of that, even if we're out of state?
Yeah. I think we can make that happen. Liz is nodding, so yes. No. Probably not.
all right, anything else for the good of the order? All right, thank you all. I'm going to close our general session. It is 7:48, and I'm going to turn it over to, I almost said our President Cooper, but it's our President, Sheena Corbus, for our URA meeting.
All right, I'll call the meeting to order at 7:49, I guess. Sure. Okay, consent calendar.
I'll make the motion to accept the consent calendar for meeting minutes 2/3 of 2025.
Second.
Okay. Motion made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, great. So item number 3, considered approving funds towards Coke Hill Community Building re-roof project for $200,000.
So, Madam President, you have in your packet a current memorandum on URA financial commitments that is updated. There was a previous discussion from the URA board that they would provide funding towards community center projects. This is a community development capital project within the URA zone, and it is eligible for funding at the discretion of the URA board. Staff would recommend to the URA board that it allocate $200,000 towards the community building re-roof project.
I will go ahead and jump in and make that motion, that we allocate $200,000 of URA funds to the re-roof project of the community building.
Second.
Okay, motion made and seconded. Any questions or discussions? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
All right, item number 4, good to the order. Is there anything?
Just a comment, because I happen to be aware, is the next month's meeting, Pocket Park presentation and the street, is that under a URA? That's probably under a URA agenda item?
Yes, those will be URA agenda items.
So just to alert people, HG will be here for a URA meeting for those 2 items next.
To make a comment that it was very beneficial to have the breakdown of our commitments on there, so that was nice to be able to reference. So thank you.
All right, anything else? All right, we will close the meeting, 7:53.
Great job. All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Have a great March. Be safe out there.